Joining. I'm Johan Ardi, business mentor, social entrepreneur, network marketer. And today is a mindset thing and a life skill. And this is very important for those of you who are leaders of your companies, leaders in your businesses, and leaders of a team. Guys, today is not so much a business related skill as it is a life skill, but it's very important in business. And this skill is also very important in leadership, in network marketing, especially when you have a team. And today I'm going to shock a few people with my language. I want to bring some points across. And I am as guilty of this as the next person. But I learn from my mistakes and I keep getting better. Now, here's the thing. If somebody responds to you with anger and with nastiness and with just plain simply downgrading, insulting, what happens is not what that person says to you, but what is important is how you react to that. When somebody's nasty to you or respond to you with anger, how do you respond back to it? That is the real key. That's what's important. So the first thing before you react, because we are so quick to react, and that's because the bigger our ego is, the quicker we are to react, because we want to take it personally. Forget about your ego and think about serving and being kind and being loving. Not so easy always, right? So if somebody responds to you with a nasty comment, downgrading a remark, insult, whatever, are you going to get mad? Or are you just going to finish up the conversation nicely and walk away? Because here's what I want you to think. You do not prejudge. You don't know what that person is going through that is frustrated, that's angry, and all of that. And it is probably not even aimed at you. It's probably projecting their anger because of issues that they haven't dealt with in life or their frustrations that they have in life. Maybe this lady is yelling at her kids in the supermarket and you don't know. Maybe she's had a really tough day at work. Maybe she works in a hospice and see people dying. Maybe her parent is dying. Maybe her husband just left her. And if she yaps at you because you are slow to move through the lane or you don't pay attention, you accidentally walk into the grocery checkout line before, I'm just using a simple example, is, oh, okay, sorry, just apologize, guys. Be nice, have empathy, and have compassion. Now, the worst thing you can do, even worse than getting mad back, is to insult them back, right? And say, oh, you must not be having a good day. What's going on? You know, I'm sorry for you, or something like that. That's even worse. So you don't know where that person is coming from. So the best way to approach that person and the response to you is to respond in a loving, kind way or just ignore it. It depends where you are. Now, when you're in traffic and somebody cuts you off, look, what's the point in yelling at the person and throwing signs and stuff like that? They don't see you, they can't hear you. Forget about it. That's our life. It happens. Move on, right? Just move on. However, when it's in close proximity and somebody does do something nasty to you, forgive them and say to them, if you want to say something, this is what I would say. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, and move on. And if there's more response, and typically that's gonna so soften up the reproach from that person. However, if they still retaliate and say, you cut in front of me, you did this, you did that. Hey, it's like, I'm sorry, you must be having a bad day. Is there something that I can help you with? Can I help you with the kids, or can I do something for you? And you genuinely mean it. Don't say that and to go and piss them off, okay? Now, the worst thing you can do is if somebody you work with or that you deal with on a regular basis frustrate the hell out of you and just nips away a little bit, nips away a little bit, nips away a little bit, nips away a little bit. And you get to a point where something happens and you blow up. And I'll use a good example because I told you guys I'm as guilty as the next person. So this guy, he's supposed to be a friend. I work with him. I'm generally interested in it. And I just ask him a good, simple question if somebody else helped him out because he wanted to go do something else. And he asked me if I could cover him. And so the question was just, I don't know, you know, and is that condescending, you know, why do you even ask me? And me trying to be the nice guy, don't always get the hint. And he's done it to me several times. So this morning, after several months of acting to me like that, this is the part where I'm going to shock you with my language. I told him, fuck you. I wish you would go fuck yourself. And that was the worst thing that I could have done because immediately I antagonized him. The one thing that he got for sure is that I was frustrated with him and that I didn't like saying the way he did. But I could have said to him, you know what? You're rude. I always just try to invest in your life and be better for you and a better friend for you. And when I ask you a question, that's how you treat me. I'm just not going to do that because I don't need to get hurt all the time and need to get wasted all the time. But this morning, I let my ego, and I was a little bit tired, take hold of me. And that is more important than my friendship. Now, I am man enough and gracious enough to have apologized and asked him to forgive me. And I did. And of course, I haven't had a response. But now my plate is clear. I've done what I needed to do. And I bet you he will not respond to me like that again. If he does, he's a total asshole, right? But that's okay. I made the point, incorrectly though, and I'm saying this again, very incorrectly. And hi, Teresa. And he got the point, but the way I did it was wrong. And now I did apologize, and I generally didn't want to say that because that's not me, right? So what I'm sharing with you for is we all get into some kind, we might not say it verbally, but we think that, or we think something like that. And guys, that doesn't enrich anybody's life. Just say, I'm sorry, man, you must be tired. You must have had a bad day. But this is not the first time I've asked you something nicely because I care about you, especially if somebody's been nipping away and irritating you. And I'm just not going to ask you something anymore from now on. When you ask me something, then I'll talk back with you. But I'm just not going to deal very much with you because I don't like the way you treat me and I feel that's unfair. That's all I should have said. And he would have felt like an ass and might have thought about his actions and might have to have treated me. But now I've antagonized him. And look, we all have anger. We all have, or a little bit of it, we all have an ego. And sometimes we just let these things take hold of us much more than what it should. Just remember, from my fault and my mistake, and if you're offended by this video, go for it. You don't have to follow me anymore. But if you've never said that even in your mind to somebody or thought, kiss my butt, I'm not talking to you again, you know, or acted like that, I want you just to know this one thing, and that's okay, guys, but this is real. What I'm sharing with you is real. And when you have a big company and a big organization that you leave in a big team, you will get stuff like that and you will get disrespect. So always try to put yourself in that person's shoes and think what could be going through their life that's very difficult. You know, something is going on. And come from a place of empathy, understanding, and caring. And just, I'm sorry, you must be having a bad day. Is there anything I can do for you? Or, I'm sorry, is everything okay? Are you having what's going on? Is it all good? You know, something like that. And then if that person still is being like that, then you know there's something, and it's normally internal failures and internal insecurity and problems and frustrations that person have that they project onto you. That was awesome, right? Onto you. And how are you, is your response going to be right back at that? Or is your response going to be, I'm sorry, How can I help you? What can I do for you? Always come from a place of love and empathy and warmth. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, Teresa. So, guys, I really hope this gave you some value. And and I actually, you know what? This morning before I left, I actually said that I would talk about that because the previous day I dealt with some anger and stuff like that, um, in a very nice way. But today I lost it. And so that just shows we are all just human, but we can all be better. And giving energy to something like that is not worth it. Move on. Hang out with the people who respect you and love you and build you up. And if you are forced to be because of workplace or family, just give love and just and speak your truth in a nice way, in a loving way, and then let it be. The universe will do its work, and the Holy Spirit, if you're a believer, will do its work on that person as well. So guys, I really hope this gave you value. Thank you so much for being here. While you're at it, I've talked a lot about my lifestyle here in Hawaii and how I got here. What I'm giving away totally for free on my website, rugbydude.com or johanvanardi.com, is my 4-step Aloha laptop lifestyle cheat sheet, the 4 steps that I followed and follow still on a daily basis to help me to be able to live here and to be here. I gotta go. Let's chat tomorrow a little bit again on my Twitter and on my Periscope. I really hope this showed you guys that we all make mistakes, but there's always a better way that we can deal with it, and really always try to come from a place of empathy and understanding, and leave the big ego on the side. All right, take care, guys. Aloha.